Uh, Step outside, enjoying some of this sun on a great Sunday. We got a lot going on nowadays as far as politics. We got a lot going on today as far as health. We got a lot going on today as far as victimhood. And what I'm on here talking about just the fact that there's this conversation of are black Americans more under attack now than they've ever been. And I would argue that black Americans are more under attack now than ever before. And there's great great amount of data that proves that. And it's not about necessarily them being black. And when I'm talking about black, also I'm talking about the descendants of slaves, because a lot of the people that were descendants of slaves ended up in the working class. So a lot of Americans, descendants of slaves, end up in the working class. You ask yourself, uh, how did they become such consumers? And it's because they've been in the working class. See, America is a capitalistic society that thrives on people spending a lot of dollars. And spending a lot of dollars would translate into people being more conscious on, well, the more I consume, the better my lifestyle is. But it's all an illusion. What's up, Ozzy? It's all an illusion at the end of the day. And the topic that I want to touch on is, well, we more under attack. And when I say we, I'm talking about descendants of slaves. Was descendants of slaves more under attack now? Or are descendants of slaves more under attack now, today, than they were yesterday? When I say yesterday, I mean previously, prior to the 1960s. I had a conversation with a guy on Facebook. He said that black people were way more attacked back then than they are now due to segregation. They said it was more racist. Black people didn't have access to a lot of things back then, and I pushed back on that, because the people that lived in this prior to the 60s in America, the black Americans, although they were going through segregation and had all of these guidelines and red lines and little to no access to all of these things that we seem to think that's more valuable to us. No, the black American did not have as much scrutiny. The black American did not have, was not under attack as much than they are today. The black American today is under way more attack. And we're talking about this because it's proof in this, because you just look at the data. The data shows you that the black American the black homicide rate is over 90%. The black obesity rate is 76%. Let's talk about the obesity, right? For instance, if you want to make an argument that the black Americans were more under attack back then than now, let's look at the obesity. Let's look at how big black people are. Black people in America, the black Americans, and I'm talking about the working class black Americans, they're fat. Like 76% of black adults in America are fat. Look at the kids. Everyone's fat. It's a shame. And then we try to switch this conversation, or we try to switch the momentum of people's minds into thinking that it's okay to be obese. And then we have what you call those things in those I forgot what you call those things. You in the mall and they're white and they got clothes. There's fat ones. I forget the name of them. Red Jades, what's going on, brother? Shady for life. Name a video game for an edit. I don't know. Red Dead Redemption. Darren Jones, bless. What's going on, Darren? Back to what I was saying, the black Americans are obese. The black Americans are fat. But that wasn't a thing. You see, even when I was a kid, there was like a fat kid in class, right? And I was born in '94. So when I was a kid coming up, there was hardly any fat people. Fat people was fat people. You know what I'm saying? It was rare. Obesity was a rare thing back then. But if you look at it now, you look at it today, black people are pretty fat. And I'm talking about black Americans. the descendants of slaves, the working class black Americans. They are fat. And I know why they're fat because black Americans consume. Black Americans were trained to consume due to the conditions they lived in, being under the working class and this capitalistic society pushing advertisements in your face all the time. We love McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? We love eating. We love chicken. We love all the soft drinks and processed food. There you go, Ozzy. Like that's Black Americans thing, and we've become very sick because of that. And it's because it gets you high. You see, when you Black Americans love the nasty food for us because it gets us high. It's we're super fat because the fat food that we eat, it gets us high. And when I say high, it increases your dopamine, your hormones going off the chain. Yeah, stop eating pizza 100%. It's pizza. When you chew a slice of pizza, that cheese and everything that's on it, man, it's getting you high. Um, does it represent success or poor choices? It represents poor choices because we're consumers. You know, Black Americans, the working class Black Americans, are heavy consumers. We love to consume. We love to consume because we're in a space where we can't fast because we don't like our situations. And this is another example of us being under attack more than they were back in before the 60s. See, before the 60s, there wasn't any obesity. There hardly was ever any fat people. Now we have fat people everywhere. The Black Americans are we not the fat? I know we're not the fattest people in the world, but I know we're the fattest group in America. 76% of adults, 76% of Black adults are obese. That should tell you everything there. So that's a great example of Black Americans being under attack more than they ever were. And not to mention that 90% of kids just sit around playing video games. Ozzy, right there. And there's another attack. We can get onto the technology, but let's do the video games. You see, that's another weapon. Now, I'm gonna hold every family accountable. So if your family is, you know what I'm saying, if you have a son and you have a child and they're eating, you know what I'm saying, they're just eating they're eating whatever, but then they're playing the video games, it's crushing us. You know what I'm saying? It's crushing your whole entire family because you're sitting there, you're not exercising. Does the Black America have a lot of people telling them that they need to exercise? No. We're getting the, well, if you're fat, it's okay. And that's and but we are under these circumstances. Can y'all hear me? Mute this, unmute this. Can y'all hear me? But we are under these circumstances that it's we're becoming fat and overconsumed with things that don't serve us well. Nick Varelli, all these fast foods, it's quick and easy when you're in the working class, but there's a lot of white people fat too. You go to Walgreens, all the candy and junk food up front. Yeah. So this conversation, it's not about anybody. It's not about everybody else. It's just I'm focusing on the Black Americans right now because there's this stigma that say that the Black Americans were more under attack back then than they are now. And that's I push back on that because throughout the racism and the segregation, they didn't have these weapons that was against them, like the food, the video games, the TV, media, propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Rappers telling you, rappers influencing the young Black man to do things. You know what I'm saying? You got movies that trains your mind to think or have a certain depiction of yourself. And I just think media and propaganda, the medicine, the food, the overconsumption is where, you know what I'm saying, the Black Americans are being attacked more. And it's honestly, it's unfair in a lot of ways, but we must hold ourselves accountable because if we don't, we won't recognize that we're doing it to ourselves. Cook better, cook with fat, not the oil. I like that. Dude, honestly, your word is okay. It's the hat, and the hat, it's lost, bro. That's okay. If you can't understand, if you can't bypass my appearance and read the hat and say that this is a positive hat, make America great again, because that's the subject I'm speaking of now. Is America was great when before Black Americans was under so much attacks. But if you want to be bent up on what this hat says, I mean, that's on you, brother. It's all good. But my message isn't being lost to people that's smart. You know what I'm saying? If you're intelligent enough, you can just listen to the words I'm saying and listen to the message and digest the message and not the messenger. It's a form of it's some growing up that we all need to do, and I hope this does this. I hope people can look past my skin color, you know what I'm saying, and say, oh, I can't trust that guy because he's black. I hope people can look past this blue tie because whatever it means to someone and say, you know, I'm gonna look past that because he has a blue tie. I'm gonna listen to the message. Same thing with the hat. Even if I wore it this way, you know, even if I wore it this way, if I rocked it like this and you see the word Trump on it, I want you to look. I want you to be able to look at me and not judge me on what I appear to be and actually digest the message that I'm saying. Otherwise, you won't grow. You can't look at people and judge people and say that your word means nothing because of what you look like or what you have on. I'm not looking at a guy with a turban on his head and say, "Oh, this guy isn't a Christian," so I'm not listening to his words or his messages. That's immature. So ADF, with all due respect, you gotta look past that, brother. You got some. I'm not. We all got some growing up to do, but that's one thing you need to tap into, brother. And I think it'll serve you well if you can stop looking at people and judging them and saying, "Ah, I'm not listening to you because of what they have on." Now let's continue. Uh, are you telling him he can't wear what he wants? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Darren Jones advertisement. Yeah, advertisement, man. It's a huge one. Advertisement. They push it, and then Black Americans. We're in the working class, so we watch a lot of TV, and so we eat a lot of the advertisements up. We're looking at these messages that's on the TV. We're watching the proper. We're eating We're programmed by the propaganda, and it's actually got us to the point where 76% of Black Americans are obese. There's fat kids everywhere now. Me and my wife was driving the other day. My wife, we was driving on the street, and it was a lot of kids walking, and it's just sad, bro. It really is, because when I was a kid, it wasn't this many fat people. And then they even call it fat shaming when you say stuff like when you call someone fat. But when somebody is fat, that just means they're sick. You know what I'm saying? Their lymphatic system isn't, expelling waste. I mean, their lymphatic system is shut down. And we gotta recognize those things and say, hey, these people are sick, not they're just fat. No, fat people are sick people. Not like they're dying sick, but their body is not working properly. It's not expelling waste. And that now we have generations full of people that say, oh, fat is okay, when it's not. It's not. We all know it isn't. We know fat isn't okay. But 76% of black adults, black American adults, descendants of slaves in the working class, are fat. And we must do something about that. We can't just bypass this and let it happen, because now it's in the kids. Now the kids are fat. And now the kids are diabetic now. Now the kids are getting diseases that we never heard of, all because of these attacks. So when we are saying that the black Americans aren't under attack as much as the black Americans from before the 60s, because they were in segregation, this is why I push back on that. He wears that hat like it's a religion. No, I wear the hat because of the message on the front. You misunderstand what I stand for. Um, don't eat always. Yeah, you gotta fast. You have to fast. Uh, you can rock that hat as long as you want. We live in America, 100%, 100%. Don't you feel America is already great? Do I feel like America is great? No, it's not great. A great is above average. Great is, what I'm saying, when you're on another level as far as positivity. America is at a point where we know what I'm saying, we have too much pride in sin. We have policies that push sin. We have obesity, the black homicide rate is over 90%. And the black Americans are a huge issue into why Americans aren't great anymore. Why America isn't great anymore. America used to be great, but there's so many different societies and so many different people and walks of life that's making it worse. And then we're gonna lose our way if we don't take control of it. We need to grab the steering wheel again, and and we do that through speech, through speaking already. Love your show, Luffy, USA, 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 United States of America, the greatest country in the world, right? But it's not great right now. We can be though. We have the ability to be. Like our potential is sky high. But unfortunately, we're living in a time and a day and age where the people aren't uh they aren't for doing the right thing. Most of us are against doing the right thing. America wasn't great the previous 4 years. Now we're making it great again. We're on our way, right? We're on our way. But it takes for us to stand up and do the right thing. I think in American, no fat people. Uh, it's fat people everywhere. It's fat people everywhere. John D, you're spot on. We're gonna make America more healthy and cut out the preservatives and dyes. I hope so, right? And these is just one of those weapons that we're being attacked by. It's sad, and then we get to the music. You see the Black Americans back then, and this is Americans in general, right? But specifically, the Black Americans did not have this much music propaganda. It didn't have this much media propaganda, rather, because there wasn't this much music being consumed. One and two, they weren't this violent. You know what I'm saying? We have violent people, we have violent subscribers now. We have people that subscribe to violent music. We have people that just ignore the violent music, the lustful music. You know, we don't appreciate being virgins anymore. You see, when I was a kid, I'm 10, 11, 12 years old. Man, you get made fun of for being a virgin around those ages is sick. It really is. What does that tell them? What does that put in the mind of the young black boy that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, that want to wait till or not even thinking about having sex? When you got a bunch of other black American children telling you you don't get girls. You ain't never slept with a girl before. Mind you, I'm 12, dude. I'm 13, 14. You get laughed at for being a virgin in high school. Wow, you're a virgin? Like this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about us being under attack. You see, because the black Americans before didn't have to go through stuff like that. Didn't have to go through people telling them, man, you're worthless because you're a virgin. You don't have value because you're a virgin. It's sick. Like it really is. And exercise also. Exercise is another thing that we prioritize more often back then than now. Now we're being encouraged to be on a video game all day. You know what I'm saying? The PlayStation has been another weapon against us. There's so many different weapons. If and I'm gonna ask you guys, man, if you got, man, drop the weapons that you believe. Drop some weapons in the comments now that you think that's hurting Americans in general, because it's bad, because we used to, like, look, I see my guy Ozzy. Growing up, we had BMX bikes and we put some miles on them. We did, man. We were outside, you know. And we used to could play outside. We used to could have fun outside, have fun with friends. And now, America has, especially the working class Black Americans, have picked up this identity or picked up this thought process of I don't want my kids outside because it's dangerous, right? What does that do to the child that needs to be outside and gaining some of this vitamin D? You said that's getting us even more sick, right? And they do have a point when they say, "I don't want my children playing outside with too much or too long because it is dangerous. It can be dangerous. You in the wrong neighborhood, yes, it's like that." Even when I was a kid, though, even though I grew up in the ghetto, I grew up in the worst parts of town. We were still outside, though. Now, my sisters, I had to walk my sisters to the store. It did get to the point where, when I was a kid, my sisters couldn't go to the store on their own. My mother always made sure that we walked our sisters. My dad never let my sisters come out the house without us. So that was a thing. But I don't believe it was always like that though. I don't think so. And I was talking to some elders today at church, and they were explaining it to me like, yeah, these things weren't problems when I was a child, and that's the part I'm hitting on. And this is why I say make America great again. Is because when America was great, we weren't under attack this much. Okay, with the power of Jesus, 100%. Ethan Seidel, I hate Trump, but agree with your views on modern music and sexploitation. I agree with you there, 100%. Yeah, I don't know. Say I hate Trump. I'm not a big Trump fan. I'm not, but I want to make America great again. I love the American First agenda. I think that's the smartest thing right now because we are in a place where it's man, we're killing ourselves, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. John D. Channels and platforms like yours get the truth out more than mainstream media. You are helping spread the truth. It's genuine and unscripted. Appreciate that, brother. I do, man, because I gotta live through this, and I have children that have to. You know what I'm saying? They gotta get married. My daughters and my son, they're gonna get married one day. And I want to make sure that they're getting married. I don't want to have to lead a country because I feel like the country is too sick. I want to do something about it. Ozzy Crosby, the companies that sell products with high fructose corn syrup should pay billions and billions of dollars in restitution for all health issues of today's society. I promise you, because why? This is another reason why America, it can't be in this category of above average because we the high fructose corn syrup, all of the food dyes, the alternatives, these foods that's pretty much these food companies are prioritizing making a dollar. They're not prioritizing health, and our soil is even tainted in most places. So it's just like it's so many weapons, and then the fact that we allow high fructose corn syrup, and we know there's countries out there that bans it, and that put people in prison if they sell it. Like that shouldn't that alarm us? Shouldn't that alarm us? We should be alarmed by that. It shouldn't be a thing. It isn't. Violent tendencies. Yes, we have violent tendencies now because of the propaganda, because of our behavior patterns from what we've been doing. And although that we have more access now, and that was somebody was arguing earlier, was I was arguing with this person because, on this specific subject of how Black Americans are more under attack now than they ever were. He said we can't be under attack because we have more access to go to universities. Like, what good is it if if you're making millions of dollars, but if you got a bad heart? And then what good is it if you have violent tendencies? Okay, that you go to college and you're in a university. A lot of college kids aren't the most peaceful people. Now there are a lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. Um, Bro, you're just regurgitating Jason Whitlock. I don't even know what that means. Uh, Vic, weapons of self-destruction. A lot of weapons. Cigarettes. David Bigler, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, David. Appreciate you, brother. Zorro, okay, you don't have to buy your kids video games. You don't, but it's there. And of course, we can control our own households, but our neighbors, though, we have. It takes a village to raise a child. People don't believe that, but it does. So my neighbors, I have to care for them, right? Because my kids have to be around them. My wife has to be around my neighbors. We all have to be one big family in our neighborhood. We have to protect ourselves. My neighbor's house is right here. My other neighbor's house is right here. We're right on top of each other. I have to live amongst these people. So I do care about them and I want what's best for them. Because what goes on in their households is just as important as mine. Because I have children, I have a wife. You know what I'm saying? They have children. They have families. We all got to stick together and be unified with each other if we want to see something good in our neighborhood. And that just starts here. But yeah, drugs, gangs, music, alcohol, gentrification. There's so many weapons, brother. So many weapons. And the fact that we compare the times now for the times before, and we see how although they were segregated and they wouldn't get access to certain things, and they couldn't do or go to universities and things of that nature, People say they couldn't vote. I don't think that's true. But although they didn't have access to the stuff we had access to, it seems like we have more freedom, but we're more actually more free to destroy ourselves too. There's so many things that you can consume that's harmful for you nowadays. Back then, but before, it wasn't like that. Is the Golden Dome necessary? I think the Golden Dome is necessary um, if there's actually if there's something actually about to go down. I looked into the Golden Dome. It's like a high power missile defender. So if any missile ever is coming towards America, this Golden Dome is supposed to be quick, fast, and get rid of that missile. And so the Golden Dome, uh, I like it for security purposes, but we already have security. We already have that. So to spend 175 billion dollars on a dome, that's gonna protect us. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it being necessary right now, unless this thing with Iran is about to happen, which I think it is. They've been planning this for decades, and we're finally they're finally about to get what they want. Um, what is the Golden Dome? The Golden Dome is this missile defense system. I grew up outside, and I grew up in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Yeah, you have to know, like, when you growing up outside, the more often you're outside, man, I think the better your childhood is. Who wants to sit up in the house all day? Zorro, uh, you're offering no solution outside of your religious nonsense. Zorro, what are you talking about, dude? Get out of here. I'm ignoring you now. Uh, Sweaty Burger. There's no attack on anyone. You're American. You can do what you want. Put your mind to it and stop playing mind victim. I'm not playing. I don't know what kind of. I don't know what you're hearing from my mouth. It's not about playing a victim because there aren't any victims. Like I said, I'm holding each and every family accountable. But there are more opportunities for you to consume things that harm you today than it was yesterday, and that's the truth. That's 100% the truth. I could never be a victim. You sound crazy. I believe in God. My Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. I'm fine regardless. But most people do need to stop playing the victim because it isn't everybody else's fault. It's yours. I'm saying there's more opportunity for you to hurt yourself, especially with the propaganda, especially when it's people all in your face, especially when you got doctors and nurses all in your face about you taking a vaccine. Come on, like coercion is real. Like when people try to persuade you to get vaccinated. My son is 10 months old. He has no vaccines, none, zero, right? And but guess what that means though? Every time he has a doctor appointment, they're always in my face saying, "Well, he doesn't have vaccines. You know he's gonna die, right?" Not really. They don't really say this, but they try to fear monger you. These people try to fear monger me into vaccinating my son. Listen, it's not gonna happen. He's not getting vaccine. It won't happen. It's impossible. I would never allow that to happen, right? But this is the thing people go through. People that don't know any better, right? So when you say, stop playing the victim," no, people can be victims to this, especially young mothers, first mothers, mothers that don't have a father with them, or mothers that don't have the child's father with them. They can become victims to this, 100%, 100%. Uh, Vic, in Beverly Hills, there's no liquor stores and malt liquor is illegal. But I live there. There's 5 liquor with 1 mile radius. My brother was just in Detroit and he showed me how different it was from Cleveland to Detroit. How Detroit has literally liquor stores on every single corner. And you said people can't be victims. Man, look, of course you don't have to consume it at all. You really don't. And if you have the power of Jesus and you believed in God and you had the resistance to do it, oh man, all power to you. Unfortunately though, through media, through propaganda, through the way we were raised, through the single mother generations that we went through, the men are not as strong and not as resistant. So it is easier for us to consume these things when it's in front of us, especially if it makes us feel better at the time. We do need to eat better. Look, you talking to a person that studied biochemistry of the body with food for a long time and still do to this day. I understand what happens to the body when you eat certain things, and And what I do know is, you know what I'm saying, the things that we, you know what I'm saying, the things that we love the most is the most harmful to our bodies, which forms into moral weapons that's formed against us. And like I said, you don't have to be the victim, but those things are real. Like cheese, there's pizza everywhere, there's burgers everywhere, fries everywhere, there's bad food everywhere, and it depending on where you live, you can't have the best fruit throughout the year, the best vegetables throughout the year. What I believe is that the fruitarian diet is a human's best diet. I think that's the best thing any human can do, is be a fruitarian. Just because we have the same digestional tract as all other primates who are all fruitarians. All other primates are fruitarians. There's 24 primates on Earth, and we're one of them. The human body is a primate body. So we have the same digestional tract, and but that's not the it's not the case for people that's in the working class and the consumers. The consumers aren't taught that the fruitarian diet is what's best. The fruitarians, I mean the consumers, the working class, is taught that the fruitarian diet is dangerous and that you're gonna die if you don't drink water. You're gonna die if you just eat fruits and vegetables. And that's, if you want to say those people are victims, I mean, have at it. But a lot of people don't know any better. Uh, High fructose corn syrup and malt liquor. Oof, it's the worst. I'm fine. I raised my kids here, but lots of kids come from single parent homes. A lot of them, and those people are easily the victims. Like they're easily victims. Black Republican, pick a struggle, bro. Nah, I don't even know what you're saying. Other kids are not your problem. Other kids are my problem. What are you talking about? Yes, they are. Yes, it is. But you speaking to a person that's, I'm empathetic and I care about others. That's one thing. But two things, I care about my neighborhood. So other kids are my problem. I have children, right? Men are protectors. You must not be a man, right? If you're saying that other kids are not your problem, no, you're wrong, brother. You're absolutely wrong. Men must protect children. If you want to protect your, I mean, do your thing. And see, that's another weapon right there. Oh, I'm not thinking about what anybody else got going on. Why not? Do you have children? You know your children got to live amongst these people, right? You know your daughter has to marry one of these young men, right? You know your son has to marry one of these women, right? They can't be somebody you raised. Unless you went to some Game of Thrones type stuff. These other people do matter. Uh, okay. Let's go. I'm enjoying a cigarette at the moment. Hey, do your thing, brother. Just lock in, man. When it's, man, you know your lungs gonna get black enough. You're gonna be you're gonna be disturbed when you see how hard it is when you have to. When you talk about picking a struggle, you either struggle with putting the cigarettes down, or you're gonna struggle being sick. Either way, you're gonna struggle though. Bro, you do not have it as hard. 100% not. I don't have it hard at all, right? I don't. But these weapons are real. These weapons are serious. And then we have cell phones. We have video games. We have the best food. We have access to all of these things, right? The Black Americans didn't have access to all of these things before than they do now, right? And look at the women now. The women are loud now. They're obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? They're upset. They're fatherless. You know what I'm saying? Black men murdering each other. This wasn't a thing. I know people forget or people don't think about this, but Black Americans were not this violent. Black Americans were not this fat. Black Americans were not this. Were way more self-sufficient, and were not this dependent upon other people and systems. Okay, people had to do it on their own, and when they had to do it on their own, they were strong. Manuel Mateo, love your hat. Thank you, brother. The country has been demoralized 100%. When you put birth control pills out, what is that telling people? Oh, I can have sex, and if I get pregnant, or I can stop myself from becoming pregnant. So that means I can open my legs more, right? That mean, and with the men, oh, I can sleep with her if I want to. Make sure she's on a birth control pill. What does that do? That gives you access to more people having sex, and without having children. And once you put that out there, that I can keep sleeping around with people and not have to pay the consequences or repercussions of my actions, or pay for the or receive a blessing and have a child. Oh, I don't have to have children. I can sleep with 30 women and not have a child. Oh, it's up. It's up. These are, you know what I'm saying? These are things that the black Americans did not have to worry about prior to today. You see, today, I can have sex with 30 women. Before today, I couldn't. And not that you can, you of course you could, but it wasn't gonna do as much damage per se. Okay, like it wasn't that much you were gonna pay for if you had sex out of wedlock. Uh, it's not much you can pay for today than you would have back then. See, back then if you had sex with 30 women, you was gonna end up with like 8 or 10 kids. But today, I can have sex with 100 women and not have to worry about a child being conceived. How's my like and having sex with that many women, is that a good thing? No, that destroys people. I'm enjoying Shaq gummies at the moment. Nice. Okay. So a dome will cover all of America, something like that. Hey, mom, don't be my friend. Ouch. I got the vaccine. Just saying. Oh man. Hey, why did you get the vaccine, brother? Um, Good for you. Appreciate it. Bad presidents everywhere. Something like that. Everything is in moderation. Everything in moderation. I mean, yeah, you can make an argument for doing everything in moderation. Have you been to college, or is all your research from video games and online? Nah, that's not the only two sources you can get information from. It's called talking to people. My information comes from speaking to people. That's where my information comes. I'm a black American. I'm a descendant of a slave inside the and I live amongst the working class black Americans. And all my information has come from what they've spoken about and what I've done my research on. Like, but it's mainly because what they've spoken about. I didn't know GMO foods didn't exist until 1994. I was born in 1994. But what I do know in America, that is a fact. A fact. It doesn't have to, just because doesn't matter where I'm getting my source from. I know it to be true. How do you feel about Trump destroying world trade? Is that what he calling it, destroying world trade? Why is it racist to say an ignorant guy who's talking out of his butt should go to college and learn something? And that's another weapon right there, is the fact that if you didn't go to college, you're somewhat less intelligent. That's that's the most ridiculous thing ever. You got to have a pecan-sized brain to think that someone needs to go to college to be more intelligent. Like that, it doesn't. The world doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. It doesn't at all. Uh, First black guy on YouTube more than 3 minutes without a chirp. Uh, oh, is you talking about the? Um, I don't know what you're talking. I think you're talking about the battery thing. Bro is going on the generic evil side. No, not me. Issue is that you're pushing for legislating morality. It has never worked and it's never will. I did not push for Congress. I never say anything about Congress making laws to doing that. Only thing I want to push Congress to do is incentivizing men to work, because I know that will fix a lot of our issues. If you incentivize men being workers and you incentivize uh, the women being at home, then that will solve a lot of our problems. But that has nothing to do with morality. That just has everything to do with the traditions that we once had, and that worked and that made America great in the first place. And going back to that, but we live in such a consumer society that it's not even like that anymore. Now we're a bunch of people that just chase our desires. It's sick. But like we have to go back to doing something structural or something with some morality to it. Do you actually believe there's a genocide going on in South Africa and no genocide in Gaza? I'm not. Is genocide? If they're doing a genocide in South Africa, that's crazy. I just heard they was fighting to get some land back, but I do believe there's a genocide going on in Gaza, 100%. Bro, does trolling on your own people make you right? No, you're not getting your point across. My point is coming across to many people. People understand what I'm saying. I'm not Everybody not a fool like you, psychedelic. I know people understand what I'm saying. If people don't understand what I'm saying, it's because they don't want to hear it, or they upset at what I'm saying, or they upset about a hat. But no, what I'm saying makes sense. I'm not speaking in tongues. I'm not speaking where it's over. I'm not speaking overcomplicated. I don't have a high education. I graduated from high school. I grew up in the hood. I don't have the best vocabulary. I, People understand what I'm saying. Rest and dabs. He ain't trolling. He's speaking facts. 100%. I can't be trolling. Why would I troll? Troll for what? The message on this live is that Black Americans are under more attacks today than they are yesterday. Um, you said, keep talking, brother. Appreciate you, Todd, my guy. Rest and dabs. I understand what you were saying. Appreciate you, bro. Nat G, I respect you. You're open to debate. 100%. That's what I do, man. It's the house of war. That's all I've ever been, was a debater all the time. Jesus Christ, it's like a black man wearing a Nazi symbol. What are you talking about? God bless you. God bless you, Jan. I'm curious how much Trump profiting off of America. Mr. Phillips, speak the truth. I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best. T, you sound good. Thank you. Brian Ball, my brother from a different mother. Brian, my brother, man. Love you, bro. Outlaw Josie Wells, dude. Most of these people on here do have a pecan-sized brain. It's kind of sad, man. But I get it. I understand it because we're in this consumer-based society where people are trained to. How they say that? How you say that topic? We're trained what to think and not how to think. That's a big thing. And what is the attack? The attack is it's just so many things like going on. You know how we said we got 1,000 windows up in our heads. There's 1,000 things going on. Life isn't simple anymore. And I compare it to the Amish people. You see, the Amish, they live very simple lives. You feel me? There isn't much going on. Like it's really simple. It's not that technical. They keep it real simple. It's basic. And it keeps you know what I'm saying, keeps all of those windows from being up. They're not thinking about 100 things. You know what I'm saying? The Amish are only thinking about 3-4 things. The Amish have 8 problems where the average American has 200. And that's what the attack is. Those 200 things you're thinking about, you're gonna find 200. Those 200 problems that you have, you're gonna have 200 what you would think is a solution. And what you think a solution is, you're thinking about 200 solutions. What is that doing? That's putting your mind on 1,000,000 miles an hour, and now you're eating pizza, playing video games, watching TV, you're masturbating, you're doing you're focusing on these 200 solutions, but you're really only doing like 5 of them, and you think they're the solution, but they aren't. But you're ignoring the important things that you need to do, like exercise, proper diet, right? Going to church. You know what I'm saying? And church isn't like the end all be all. You don't have to go to church, but church is good for you, right? When you're with people, when you're amongst people that have the same values as you, and when you have goals in life, and these people can help you with those things, like simple stuff, right? But we ignore all of the important things that we need to focus on because we have 200 problems in our head. And I'm saying this, we need to, in order to drop all of these windows out of our head, right, we need to get back to the basics. But the basics are being ignored because the TV is telling you something else, because your family members are telling you something else. Gulf of America. It's social engineering. Yes, Jody. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 100%. He's beautiful. Thank you, J Views. Truth is truth, and many can't take it. Many, the most, man. Somebody told me it was in the stream the other day. It said 2% of people will get it, and I don't think the number is that low. I don't. But it's pretty low. Most people are edgy, indoctrinated. Most people are indoctrinated with lies, and they're indoctrinated with prioritizing their desires over the objective truth. Most people are Hey, how do I feel about this? Oh, well, since this is how I feel about it, it should be this way. When it shouldn't. Like we shouldn't go based on how you feel. And now we have a bunch of people, millions of people, that's in support of people saying that because I was born a woman, that doesn't make me a woman. Because I was born with a vagina, that doesn't mean I'm a woman. Because it's not about if I have a vagina. It's about how I feel. It's about what I think is going on. And a lot of us are like that with other things besides gender. Like, that's just that portion of people. There's a bunch of different people that think what I think is the truth, not the truth, what I think is the truth. And now we're living in amongst these people. A lot of them you see in the comments. A lot of these people in the comment section are people that think because they feel some kind of way, and however they feel, that they should live life this way, or they should view or have a perspectives of life in this way. I think Donald Trump is the devil, so he has to be the devil. I don't have proof he's the devil, but I think he's the devil. I think that Donald Trump is the worst man on earth, so he has to be. Without any evidence, it's kind of scary. Um, do you believe that welfare and tax breaks are both free money? I don't think anything is free. I think no welfare. We pay for welfare. Welfare isn't free. Welfare is that's taxpayer money. Uh, and tax breaks are both free money. Nah, it never is. We're always paying for something. Always paying for something. I was at a race thing. It isn't. You was born a chick. This fool ain't black. He tripping. Trans rights are human rights. Wow. Uh, I didn't think so. Yeah. Do you support Trump? Not all the way. Not 100%. Would you support an all LGBT military division? Of course not. Uh, am I blocked? I don't know. You are making comments. Um, let's scroll down. Sorry. But you need to be kicking some people out of the chat. If they're disturbing you guys, I apologize. I don't have moderators. It's just me and my phone outside chilling. But I apologize on their behalf. I can't really I can't monitor or moderate the chat. I'm too busy focusing on just us talking and telling you guys how I feel about this idea that black people or black Americans, descendants of slaves, black men in the working class are under attack. Uh, I think the black Americans are under attack more today than they were yesterday. Man, just keep to yourself. Don't focus on the BS. I got you, Hamilton. I gotta stay like that. But yeah, man, there's 100 different weapons that's formed against Americans in general, and unfortunately, working class Americans are they're the ones that's the victims of all of these of under they're the victims of these weapons. And another unfortunate situation is that a lot of black Americans, descendants of slaves, are in the working class. So now that we know that a bunch of black Americans are in the working class, then that means these weapons are going to form against them the most. And like we got these numbers say it, man. The black women abort their children. Out of 1,000 black women, 23 black women abort their children. Out of 1,000 Hispanic women, 12 of them do. Out of 1,000 European women or Caucasian women or white, 8 of them do. If the black woman is 23, like that should tell you something. 23 out of 1,000 are aborting their children. That should tell you something. Margaret Sanger had a plan, and her plan was to eat. I'm not gonna say eat. Well, she didn't say technically she was gonna erase the black race, but she definitely was on the side of eugenics and on the side of, hey, we need to get black people to think that aborting their children is okay, and it works. Like Planned Parenthood is popping right now, and black women at a extremely large number of them are in support of abortions, 100%. A lot of black American women think my body, my choice. A lot of black American women are not on the side of God when it comes to abortion. And it's because of lack of guidance, lack of structure, lack of being having some kind of resistance to their desires. You see a lot of black women, they like to open their legs. Not all, but a lot of them do. And a lot of them, they enjoy that stuff. So they do it a lot. And how they can keep going is if they just abort their children. And it's unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in now. So that wasn't a thing back then. Back in the under Jim Crow or under the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like the birth control pill was came around in the 50s and the 60s, I believe somewhere around there. But abortions, that's a whole nother beast, and that's an entire different beast. And that black women trend, they tend to do a lot more often than everyone else. And it's a very sad and sick thing, man, because those are God's babies, you know. And if you out here killing the babies, that's different, bro. That's different. And I just feel bad and I feel sad for them because it's all propaganda that has them thinking this. They're not thinking about that's a being a baby. They got other people telling them, well, it's just a fetus. The baby isn't alive. The baby is not life. It isn't living yet. And they fell for the okey doke, right? And they have to pay for that. And Americans in general have to pay for that. Literally have to pay for it. Taxpayer dollars is going into funding killing babies in the womb. That's not okay, bro. And in any shape or fashion, like that's just some of the worst things. And this is why America has lost its greatness, is because we're doing things like that. Right? We're funding abortions. Now I love this latest bill that I think the House just passed. If I'm saying these terms right, they took the money out of. They took federal funding out of Planned. They're trying to take federal funding out of Planned Parenthood. Bravo, 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 Trump administration. Bravo. Both parties are definitely corrupted, but I'm gonna give praises. We're Because why was my dollars funding abortions? Like, I know Planned Parenthood don't only do abortions. I know this, but they do abortions. People get paid for aborting children. That's not right. If anybody can even think that that's okay, it just tells you where you are in your head. Like it's fried, and then we make excuses like, "Well, I don't have enough money right now, so I should abort my child because I don't have the funds right now to take care of it." Come on, guys, what are we talking about? Killing a child because you don't have the money? That's like saying, "All right, I'm gonna give my child up for adoption because I lost my job." That's not okay. It's not right. It's not right. Um, let's get to some comments, man. Taxpayer dollars are going to Trump's golf trips, and y'all take our choice away. Now these kids will be put in CPS or foster care system, which is already overwhelmed, and then take away the food stamps. And so your argument for abortions because the children will be put in CPS or the foster care system, that's not a good argument. My wife got prenatal care from Planned Parenthood while waited for my health insurance to kick in a month. That's what's up. That's a good thing that Planned Parenthood does. I'll give them that. Uh, Medicaid, Ohio, and school funding. Adoption is better than abortion. Bradley Smith. Thank you. Adoption is an option all of the time. But hey, I don't want to go through these 9 months and carrying this child. Um, Holly Mackinnon, you have no idea what it takes to become a mother and bringing a child into this world. So when they know they can't take care of them is a woman's choice. Do you or any man have any right to comment? Yes, we do. Lady, you didn't make that child. You're not a creator of the child, dude. You're the mother of the child. You didn't create the child. It takes a man to create a child. It's the sperm cells. That's what the child starts at right there. You're the and I don't need any woman to get offended. I don't want you guys to get offended by this, but I'm gonna say it. I have a wife and I have 3 children, so I do know what it takes to bring a child into the world. 100%. Do I physically feel of what's going on? No, but I know what it takes. I know what's going on. I've been there the entire time. But I'm here to tell you, women, you're vending machines. You're the vending machine. It's great. I love you. I appreciate everything you do. And if it wasn't for this beautiful machine that you have, we wouldn't have, people wouldn't exist. But you're not the creator. It's not your child. It doesn't belong to you, dude. So when you say my body, my choice, that baby has its own body. It's just, look, it's a bag of chips inside the vending machine. You feel me? Your body is a vending machine. It's not your body. Goofy, be mad, but just know the man created that child. The man puts that child into you, puts that seed into you. That's it, right? So this whole I'm gonna take advantage and say I'm doing what I want to do with this child because I don't want to have this baby. I'm gonna kill the baby. You're a murderer. That's it. You're a murderer. 100%. You are a murderer. I don't care how you feel about it. You're a murderer. Whatever. You're a murderer. Close your legs. Or close your legs. You won't have to murder children. But you keep opening up your legs. You can't stop murdering the kids because you can't keep your legs closed. Goof troop. Um, then double up on funding for Medicaid, food stamps, and school funding. Okay, guys, welfare doesn't help us. Welfare hurts us. Welfare doesn't help us. Welfare hurts us. Say it again. Welfare, it doesn't help us. It hurts us. Why? Because the men are more dependent now and they aren't independent. Once you make the man too dependent, he becomes weak. The man becomes too weak. He can't fish for himself or his own family. Once he can't fish for himself or his own family, he has to rely on other things outside of himself, which makes him more weak. Men have to work hard. Men have to work. This is what makes a neighborhood great. This is what makes a household great. Hard work by the man. Period, point blank. So, welfare, we opened up 13 welfare programs in the 60s by Lyndon Baines Johnson. And where did it get us? Here. It's not great right now. Bro is outside in the backyard because he doesn't want who's in the house to hear him. My wife and kids in the house. I'm in my studio. This is my first time streaming outside, man. Get off my back, man. It's a good day out here. I just thought that, you feel me? It's Sunday. I was outside, you feel me? I thought the sun looked nice. I thought this would be a great composition. I'm a filmmaker, man, real life, man. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm a photographer too. Like, I'm a pro. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm only 30, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? I just came out here and messed with some colors. You know what I'm saying? I like this. This look good. It looks good. What has Trump done for black people? Trump never did anything for black people. Uh, let's go. Nothing is stopping a man from getting a job. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. There's jobs everywhere. They're all available. They're everywhere. You can be an entrepreneur and bust your back. You can get a job and bust your back. You can do anything. Just work, man. Look, you're basically providing resources for your family, man. That's important. But what's even more important than that is being a contributor to society. When you're contributing to something outside of you, man, that's what makes you a great citizen. Okay, we have to be contributors in this lifestyle. You feel me? And I'm talking to the men. The more we contribute, is the better we'll be. Why we'll be blessed to be contributors and not just takers. You don't want to just be a contributor. Excuse me. You don't want to be a taker. You want to be a contributor. Quit playing like you white. Me being a good person and me saying let's contribute to society and stop killing babies is being white. Whoops. If that's what being white is, man, white people, y'all the best. If a woman don't know how to keep their legs closed, then ask a married woman. They can do it, no problem. Let's go. You make a lot of sense. Strong men need to be hard or need to be heard. I swear, they do. And a lot of them aren't. A lot of them don't say anything because a lot of them are under the spell of feminism. Feminism really got the man scared to say something or speak up about the women. Like I even had, man, I look. My dad is my executive producer, but he goes against everything I say. Right, damn near everything I say and everything I stand for. My father does. It's weird, but yeah, it's the fact that I even brought up the fact that the men should never blame the woman for anything, and I'm gonna talk about that another day too, about how the women are the victims of all of this stuff. This is all due to the man. I think this is a man's world. I think the men are the biggest shifters of everything. The men make things move. You feel me? I think the men, because we're the creators, but we're also the destroyers. You know what I'm saying? As much as we can create is as much as we can destroy. You see, women aren't that. I don't think women shift the world as much as men do. So I don't think the women can actually be the blame of anything. People like to say, it's these mothers, it's these women, it's these mothers, it's these women, it's these. Never. I will never, ever blame a woman for anything that goes on because the man will and wield all the power. They do. Now, women can influence, right? But the man hold the power. So I cannot be a person that can point the finger at the woman, right? Because if she's out here making decisions on her own anyway, that woman, she has a father or a husband, and we are the leaders, we're the providers and the protectors, right? We're the ones that we're the decision makers. So if the woman is end up in a position where she's making her own decisions, uh, blame her father or blame her husband for that. You put a suit on to come outside? No, come on, I wear a suit every day. Or one, two. Nah, I was at church today. Um, uh, well, as long as it's consensual and you both have fun. I served 15 years in the Army. I am no weak woman. How dare you? Who said you were weak? I said you're not a creator. And you can't destroy as much as a man can. That's just the facts. This is a man world. Men built all of this. Women don't build things. They can. They're capable. They can build something that can have valuable thing, have value and mean something in the long run. But 99% of things were built by men. Man-made things were built by men. 100%. Um, why are you saying what you're saying? You will suffer from the Republican policies just like any black man or woman. You are not exempt. Um, I don't get what you're saying. I don't get what you mean by that. Your wife must be really happy to hear that. Oh yeah, I have a very loving relationship, and that's the thing. I can stand on what I'm saying because what I'm saying, I'm not tripping about what I'm saying. One, two, look, I've been married almost 8 years. My wife agrees with 99% of everything I'm saying right now. Maybe there's a 1%. Maybe there's a 1%. Me and my wife rarely. We are spiritual twins. We say half the things I say throughout the day, she's saying it at the same exact time. We have the same thinking process. This is the person that I'm a spiritual twin with. So, yeah, my wife is very happy to hear what the heck I say. You feel me? Bro tripping all the time. Simple minds have a hard time understanding things. They do, and it's this stuff is not rocket science. We build men, but yes, you're right. The world is run by men. It is 100%. This is why I can't point the finger at women for anything. Like for some things, I guess you could point to, but no, because we're the leaders. We're the one that influence the women. The women naturally follow our lead. Naturally, it's not even on purpose or anything. A man can say, or a man can be a stay-at-home dad, and the woman is doing all of the working, and she's coming home doing all of the cooking, all of the cleaning. He could sit there and not do anything, right? But that still doesn't make her the leader. It still doesn't. She's following his lead wherever they're going. But if you live in a house like that, your house is going to chaos. It's chaotic. But she's still gonna follow him though. Naturally, she's gonna she's gonna naturally follow him. Yes, she can say no to him. Yes, she can make decisions and they go by her decisions. But that doesn't mean she's leading. If you can get what I'm saying. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Uh, you don't want to be able to get rid of something growing onto your body. I don't know what you mean by that. Abortion is murder. Yes, it is. Brianna McCoble, my wife here, we are literally the same. So pin that message. That's my wife right there. We are literally the same. The way his voice changed talking about the relationship. Well, it's not a word. It's not a word. I can't read. Are you hearing yourself? Ridiculous. Are you hearing yourself? Ridiculous. Vanessa Biggs, men should provide, men should protect and provide 100%. It's our God-given abilities. We are leaders and it's God-given. You think men just, me too, like, I didn't believe in the whole men are just natural leaders and that we should just naturally lead. I didn't want that to be true. Like I was comfortable being in my victim bubble where somebody was coming to save me. I was comfortable in that. I knew somebody was coming to save me. I knew it was somebody. But man, once I had to wear that hat of, nah, brother, you're on your own. And you gotta lead. And your family is your responsibility 100%. Oh, that was a hard pill to swallow. And a lot of men don't like that. A lot of men do not like that pill. This guy yaps more than they do at the nail salon. I do. I'm really like that, man. I talk all day. I'm a heavy speaker. Does your hat say "Make America Great Again"? Yes. This guy has never been in a relationship in his life. He keeps thinking the relationships are like movies. What is he talking about? My relationship is like a movie, a great, perfect movie. Me and my wife's relationship is the most rare relationship you will ever find. You will never find, these flies out here crazy. You will never find a love like mine. Nowhere ever. Me and my wife have the greatest marriage probably in human history. It has to be. I don't know anybody with a greater relationship than my wife and I. It's better than the movies. It's better than the movies. Dude, I like your hat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Swifty. Women are nurturers. Yes, they are. The greatest, man. The greatest superpowers that women have is that nurturing power. I wish I had that. You know what I'm saying? My son is 10 months. I wish he knew to come to me if he wanted, you know what I'm saying, to feel better. But he know, like, brother, no. Get away from me, lame. Where is the lady with the yitters at? Where is the otters at? I need to put my mouth on a yitty. You feel me? The women got so many different things going on, man. The woman is a supernatural being, man. She's the greatest. I just wish more women seen that. That baby is a separate person, not part of your body. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. How does that make you a vending machine? Man can't make babies themselves either. The baby shares both the DNA. He not putting some chips in there and getting the chips back. No, he's putting the coin in, and then you put the coin inside the vending machine, and then you feel me? It manifests itself into a gift that you paid for. You feel me? Yeah, vending machines. Fetus literally means small human. Right, 100%. Pro-choice. I'm praying for you. Yes, most definitely. The woman is out of this world because it's in the Bible. It says she is a creature. So a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, a great thing. Yes, 100%. By the way, there is someone behind you in the window. Is there any windows even showing? Oh yeah, there's a window there. Oh man, look, I gotta get off here. Look, I got a party to go to. I have, good boy. Y'all grimy, man. I got a party to go to. This is a great show. Thank you, man. I just want to be on here, man, just spitting the truth. It's just funny that that I get to that people think it's satire. It's not satire. It's me preaching the gospel, but I just don't have to say gospel. I'm just gonna say everything I'm saying is based on the gospel. Not really based on the gospel, but my foundation of my beliefs and my thinking process it's due to the gospel. Put it like that. And I just, you know what I'm saying? I just wish the world was a lot more Christian. And I wish my neighbors were a lot more Christian. And I just wish America was a lot more Christian, because of the values that we, you know what I'm saying, that we once had. But we're going to come back, man. The world's going to be holy again. We're going to make the world great again. We're going to make North America great again. And we're going to make America great again. We just got to go back to our Christian values. And with that comes going back to that Constitution, that good old U.S. Constitution. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. I'll be back on tonight as we will shoot episode number 32, I think. So I see you guys later. Love y'all. Peace.